Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Anything is Possible, the sports betting show.
Anything's possible.
With your pals, Chris, Dave, and Adam.
So,
Let me talk about what's possible and what's not possible. Right now, it's feeling like it's actually not possible for me to win. Listen, I'm not going to lie. The account's low. I've been a bonus bet dog lately. And so really all I'm trying to do is turn fake money into real money.
Yep.
And I texted Dave last weekend, and I was like, what's the most strategic play I can do with this to turn some of this into real money that I can withdraw? So I took basically every outcome of every possible combination of the two games. The one thing that I could not have happen, if the Chiefs won and the Lions won, I hit huge. If the Chiefs won and the 49ers covered, I'd hit huge. If the opposite happened, if the Ravens won, the Lions won, I'd hit huge. And if the Ravens won, if the Chiefs won...
You've confused yourself now.
Yeah.
Whatever all the options were, one option that did happen.
The one thing that could not
You really
happen...
dug yourself a hole.
The one thing that could not... The only outcome that could not happen would be for the Chiefs to win and for the 49ers to not cover. I had every other bet possible placed out there. And that's exactly what did not happen. I lost everything. It almost feels like it was statistically impossible. Or maybe I'm just horrible. But it was a disappointing weekend, to say the least.
Let's talk about how
give him the
horrible it was.
recap, Dave.
All right, so Chris, it was horrible, man, for you. So you picked Ravens minus 3.5, and that lost. You picked the Lions and 49ers to go under 51. They hit at 63 or something like that. So you lost. You picked Jason Day, and you had stats on stats on stats to back it up to make the cut at the Farmers Insurance Open last week. Did not make the top 10. No. You lost.
No.
He had him to finish top 10. He didn't even make the cut.
He didn't even make the cut. I had him to finish top 10. He didn't even make the cut. He was 2 over. He wasn't even close to making the cut. I was watching his back round. He was 2 over, then he birdied, and then so I was like watching it because he had 5 holes left, and all he had to do was get 3 birdies in those 5 holes, and he would have made the cut. And he finished bogey, bogey, bogey. And I was like, all right, I just don't deserve anything in my life, I guess.
Now, you did hit Lions plus 7, so you went 1 for 4.
Yeah.
So saving grace. So all right. So since we started this podcast, you're 12-20, so 37.5% hit rate. That means that all those people out there fading Chris, they're winning 62.5% of the time.
Yep.
So
I said it from the beginning.
Yep, you said it from the beginning. All right, Adam, last week you put 2 bets down. You took Ravens money line, and that did not hit. And you took 49ers minus 7. That did not hit. And that was your water bet, which we'll be getting to in just a moment.
Yeah.
So you went 0 for 2 last week. You are sitting at 52.9% hit rate, though. So you're still in the green, I guess you could say. You're 9-8 overall. But a little close for comfort, I guess. And then for me, I am still the worst person on here because I'm exactly at 50%. I'm 15-15. I went 2 for 3 last week. I took that Iowa State money line against Kansas that I bored everybody with all of my stats and background on, and that hit. I took the Chiefs and Ravens to go over 44.5. That did not hit.
Nope.
And then I took the Lions plus 7, and that did hit, even though they lost. So 2 for 3. Like I said, I'm 15-15 on the year. But that was our water bet. And Adam, you lost the water bet.
I did it for the content to give the people what they want. We didn't have a water bet on the line, so we either were having double water, where those two are getting wet, or me with
double water, but
double water because I've bet with 2 people. So here we go. This is cold. It's pretty fresh out the fridge. Full water bottle.
With the jacket
Rookie
on?
mistake.
Oh, is he going jacket on? It's going to catch in his... It's going to catch in his hoodie.
No.
It's going to catch in his hoodie, Dave.
No. It is. It's just going to sit in the hoodie.
No.
Oh, wow. How was it? He can't hear us. Cold?
Yeah, it was cold.
It
God,
had to be cold.
Bad.
I'm so uncomfortable.
Oh, wow.
Is that water sitting in your hoodie right now?
Yeah, probably. I feel it in my back a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
That's
How
good.
cold was it?
My butt's wet. The temperature actually wasn't so bad. Now it's just like my chair is like a mesh seat, so it's just soaking that up. So now I'm just sitting in water.
Real sog, because that top that you're wearing is very waterproof, so it's just running down. That's why I was saying last time, Dave, with that little bit spongier material, that was a good choice. But listen, we're not here to talk about clothing materials.
Yeah, the jacket not wet at all. The rest of me very wet. But
We're here to talk sports bets and people getting wet.
Yeah, bets and wets. Bets and wets is all we care about.
Wet bets, if you will.
That's the name of the game on Anything is Possible.
Listen, if you tune into our regular show, the full-length show, Let's Learn Sports Today was centered around golf, and I rattled off 5 for 5 of the top PGA Tour win holders. So I'm feeling a little bit good about golf, even though last weekend's turnout was not good. I do feel good about these. So I'm going to start out. We're talking Pebble Beach Pro-Am. I mean, this is just a safe bet. I like Victor Hovland to finish in the top 10, and that's at plus 140 right now. The kid's just a menace. I mean, he's absolutely deadly. Pebble Beach.
Yeah.
Decent field. I like it.
I love that. I feel like like you said, he's a good safe bet. And I like that. Good bet. Adam, you want to go or you want me to go?
I'm going to have you two both go one more time, then I'll sprinkle mine in like somewhere nice in the middle there.
All right. Okay. So I'm excited for my bets this week. And I'm going to start out. I've been talking this all day. I did research. I am pumped. So my first pick of the weekend, Saturday morning tip off, 11 o'clock Central Time, 12 o'clock Eastern. The number one in the country, UConn Huskies, going to Madison Square Garden and playing St. John's University. That game is on Fox for all those who want to tune in. And I'm taking St. John's money line upset against the number one team in the country. St. John's.
Wild. Why?
St. John's, unranked. UConn, 18-2. St. John's, 13-7. St. John's, better rebounding team than UConn. Averages more rebounds a game. They have 3 losses this year that are all on the road against ranked opponents. They lost to UConn, though, just a week and a half ago at UConn, but only lost by 4. They lost to Marquette, who's ranked number 9, by 1, and every single one of their losses is against a team that right now would make the tournament if it started today. I feel like St. John's at home, especially with this college basketball, we talked about it, we touched on it last week. St. John's is a good team, and they're playing at home. This is a crazy basketball season. I feel like UConn's going to go in there and they're going to lose. The big decision point for me was the fact that they only lost to UConn by 4 at UConn a week and a half ago, and I feel like they're coming off that game. They're going to be on fire, and they're going to be ready to come out strong. And so I'm taking that upset money line.
So you say St. John at home. Do they play all of their games out of Madison Square Garden?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So
I mean, usually I try and talk myself into liking your guys' bets, but I just simply don't like this one, Dave. But I'm here for it. I love it. I love that you're going crazy, but I don't love the pick myself.
I love it. For some reason, it spoke to me when I was looking at the schedule. And like I said, like St. John's, their record's deceiving because they're first of all, their strength of schedule is wild. Like they have played their non-conference losses were against, I believe, Michigan and Dayton, who are both good teams. And then, like I said, they played Marquette. They played Seton Hall. These are all teams that would be in the tournament if it started today. Okay. So I feel good about it. I feel really good about it. So we'll see. I could be wrong. UConn could go in there and win by 30. For anybody who bets college basketball, knows that the odds come out like the day before. So I don't know what the odds on that would be, but they got to be. I mean, they're going to be.
I feel like they have to be pretty crazy. Yeah,
they're going to be a big dog. So I'm taking the money line on it.
I like that. I will say with college basketball in general, I think it's a lot easier to make money if you know what you're looking for and you know about the teams and stuff like that, just because it's so unpredictable. And I just think it's really hard to rank these teams in different conferences and stuff too. I just feel like a lot of these games are close. So if you see someone with like a 12 or 15 point spread, it's probably still going to be somewhat of a close game. So I don't know that much about it.
Yep.
So I'm going to avoid it. I'm going to stay with golf, and I'm going to do – I like another young guy, Colin Morikawa. I like Colin Morikawa top 10 as well this weekend.
Okay.
I probably will not parlay those because one's plus 140, the other's plus 190, so it would be an awesome parlay if it hit, but I feel safer with them as separates. The straight bets.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah. Do whatever you're comfortable with, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Morikawa, no, I mean, not really. I mean, it's golf, so
you just got to rack up some dubs. I respect it.
Yeah, and with golf, you're betting like top 10 finishes like that and stuff. That's kind of the way you have to go for betting.
That's
on
making
golf.
it a little spicy, going with top 10, not just make the cut.
Exactly. Okay, so my second one this week is another upset in college basketball, but not
crazy.
Not as big of an upset, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're actually favored in this game, given so last week, we all know I picked Iowa State versus Kansas at home, and Iowa State was ranked, I forget the exact ranking, but they were in the 20s, I believe, and Kansas was top 5, and that was a home game for Iowa State, and they were still favored. This week, I'm flipping the script, and I'm taking Kansas at home against number 4 Houston. So Kansas is ranked number 8. Kansas ranked 8. Houston's ranked 4. The Basketball Power Index, which a lot of people pay attention to for come tournament time on who to pick for upsets and things like that, even if they're a lower seed but have a higher BPI. Houston's number 1 in the country under the best. So
I think they beat Texas last night, didn't they?
I think so. Yeah, they did.
They looked good. So.
And so that game's at 3:00 on ESPN on Saturday. I think Kansas will. I think they've already played since last against their game against Iowa State, but their next big game against a ranked opponent, I think they're going to bounce back after losing to Iowa State. Kansas is playing at home.
Yeah,
their only loss.
Fieldhouse is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, anytime Kansas plays at home, then they got to be favored to win. Houston's 2 losses are at TCU and at Iowa State, which are both conference road games, and so kind of showed a trend of losing conference road games. And KU's 1 loss at home was against Marquette this year, who's ranked 9 right now. So kind of a similar matchup. But I do think Kansas is another animal at home, and so I'm taking them money line against Houston. They'll probably be favored in that game, but that's my second pick this week.
Yeah. Okay. I get
beautiful.
Yep.
Adam.
I'll fire off pick number 1 here. So as always, I like taking it across the pond. So I'm going back over. I'm betting my usual Liverpool as I always do. Big game against Arsenal this weekend. Liverpool sits at the top of the table right now. Arsenal is tied for second with Manchester City, 5 points behind. So if they win, they're closing the gap. If Liverpool wins, they're increasing that gap. It's at the Emirates, which is at Arsenal's stadium. But Liverpool's hot right now. We're playing very well. We're getting guys back. We're getting healthy. We just beat Chelsea 4-1 today. I think we're going to continue that momentum. I'm not saying a win. I'm just taking the over on goals. The line's at 2.5. So I'm going to say that over is going to hit. I do feel good about Liverpool. So if you do want to parlay those two together, I'm just not this week. But I'm taking the over on 2.5 in that game. Both teams are going to come out buzzing. Liverpool plays really well against opponents at home because usually in soccer, when you're at home, you want to put on a strong performance in front of your fans. So you might come out a little more aggressive. Liverpool pounces on those aggressive teams. They're really big on the press, really good on the counterattack. So I'm taking over on goals in that game.
Is that at home? Or, I mean, is that on Saturday or Sunday?
That is on Sunday.
Sunday, little Sunday action.
Sunday at 10:30.
Love it.
Central Standard Time.
Love it. All right, Chris, what you got?
I'm dry. Turn this thing off. I'm dry. I'm out. I got no more picks.
Only double bet this week?
I only got 2
That's
this
all?
week. That's all I got.
All right, you got 2. All right, then I got one more. One more college basketball. And
what big dog's losing this week?
I'm taking another upset, and that's why I was so excited.
He's crazy.
I know. So Auburn is going into Oxford, Mississippi, playing Ole Miss this weekend. Auburn's ranked 16. Ole Miss is unranked. That game's 5:30 on Saturday. So Ole Miss only has 3 losses this year, and they're not ranked. Auburn has 4 losses, and they are ranked. That kind of blows my mind a little bit. Ole Miss has better defensive numbers. They have more steals. They have more blocks this year, and they give up fewer points per game. Ole Miss hasn't lost a game yet at home this year. All 3 losses were on the road. 2 of those were against ranked opponents, and so Auburn beat them at Auburn. So that's one of their 2 road losses. Kind of like my same reasoning in that UConn St. John's game. I feel like Ole Miss is going to want to bounce back after recently losing to Auburn. College basketball, too, it's hard to beat the same team twice if they're good teams in the same season. So I'm going to take Ole Miss, again, as the home team. I feel like that's going to give them an advantage. And I think they're a much better team than what they're given credit for, given they're only 3 losses on the season. So I'm going to take Ole Miss. That's another. I think that's going to be another upset. Again, I don't.
I think it will be.
Yeah, we need to see the lines, but
we need to see those lines. But if you're feeling spicy, you can do my 3 upset parlay this week and really hit it big. Or I know. Or you could just bet each of them individually, like I'm going to do. But that's what I'm feeling this week in college basketball.
I'll do both.
Okay. I like the second 2 a little bit more than your first one, but crazy. 3 dogs.
3
I actually don't think Kansas will be a dog, so it'll probably go 2 for 3 on dogs.
Yep, 2 dogs and a favorite, most likely.
Yep.
So.
All right, boys. Well, I'm on golf this week. I got Morikawa and Victor Hovland finishing in the top 10 at the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Dave, recap it.
I got St. John's pulling off the upset at home against UConn. Kansas pulling off probably a favorite at home against Houston, but an 8 over a 4. And Ole Miss pulling an upset at home against the Auburn Tigers, all on Saturday college basketball action.
Then I got Sunday at 10:30, the over on goals in the Liverpool Arsenal game at 2.5. And if you're feeling spicy, I do like a Liverpool dub as well.
Great.
There you go.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Anything is Possible. There may be some updates. I know we said we were probably going to end after the football season, but we are currently in deliberations on what this morphs into and what it looks like going in the future. We're thinking we might keep it going, but we just have to figure out what that structure looks like. So if you're a loyal fan, keep tuning in because there may be cool stuff coming. That's Anything is Possible. Thanks for listening.
Anything's possible.
See ya.
I'm so wet.